Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys an update to my Cyberse Yugioh deck profile for post Flames of Destruction. But actually very excited for this set because with it we got more Cyberse support, and I always like to bring you guys an update to the deck whenever we get new support for it, whether it be from a starter deck or a booster pack. And we actually got some pretty good support for this deck in this pack. Most of it wasn't really link monsters too much, but a lot of it was for the main deck, which is what we needed definitely, just to help out until we get the starter deck in July for more support for the deck. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off, I run 3 Drag Connect. It's always been 3 of this guy. He's just way too good in the deck for setting up your link summon by filling up the field with monsters. When it is normal summon, you can special summon one level 2 or lower normal monster from your hand or deck in defense. So it, like I said, fills up the field so you can link summon into your different Cyberse monsters. And the fact that it says from your hand or deck means that even if you draw some of the normal monsters that you run, you don't really miss out with its own effects, since you can still special summon them from your hand if you have to. And for the normal monsters, I run 2 Protron. This is a new Cyberse monster that we received in the Flames of Destruction booster pack. It's a level 1 Cyberse normal, which I like because it works with the new card we got very well, Prompt Thorn, which I'll get to in a little bit. So the numbers for the normals are 2 of this and 1 Digitron. 3 normals is what I've always found to be the most consistent, just to match up with the Drag Connect and to work with the other cards that we run in the deck. In this case, being Prompt Thorn, one of the new monsters. Its effect is you can tribute 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster, special summon any number of Cyberse normal monsters from your deck and or graveyard whose total levels equal the tributed monster's level on the field, but banish them during the end phase. You can only use the effect of Prompt Thorn once per turn. So by using his own effect, I like the Digitron and the 2 Protrons just because you can mix and match with any other level that you had on the field for your tribute. Then you have 3, 2, 4, 1, you name it. And the fact that it says graveyard as well means that after the Drag Connect has been done, you can basically reuse the normal monsters from your graveyard with the Prompt Thorn. It's a very good effect, and the fact that they'll be banished at the end phase isn't really that big a deal because you always make use of the monsters beforehand. And I also run 3 Backup Secretary. Pretty standard. If you control a Cyberse monster, special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon her once per turn this way, but a 3 of because she's just so easy to special summon. She doesn't take up any of your summons because you just have to have a Cyberse monster on the field, which is, very easy to do with this deck. And then you can just get her on the field to be that additional monster you need for a link summon. And I also run 3 Rom Claudia. With this card, when it is normal summon, you can target 1 Cyberse monster in your graveyard except for Rom Claudia, add it to your hand. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster from your deck except for Rom Claudia. So along with her being amazing search support for whatever you need, you can also basically normal summon her and then add back Backup Secretary, special summon it, and you have a link summon option right there. So she's great late game when you basically are out of resources and you just have that, top deck with her. She'll basically make your plays and go into what you need based on that add bad effect for what you want to go for. And I also run 3 Balancer Lord. With this card, once per turn you can pay 1,000 life points during your main phase. This turn you can normal summon 1 Cyberse monster in addition to your normal summon or set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. If this card is banished, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower monster from your hand, but you can only use this effect of Balancer Lord once per turn. Great with the additional normal summon because the whole point of the deck is just to get out as many monsters as you can as fast as you can for your big link summons. And so far all of these monsters that we've shown have basically contributed to those plays, whether it be through additional normal summon, add back to your hand for special summonings, or just, tribute effects. They all work very, very well together with the ones that I run for 3 ofs. And moving on to the cards we run 2 of, I run 2 Bit Trooper. I like this card with the, lower level monster options. You can send 1 level 2 or lower monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. You can only use the effect of Bit Trooper once per turn. So it's just an easy special summon, and you can make use of some of your lower level monsters that you have nothing else to do with in your hand to special this guy out, whether it be in defense for shield or for use for a link summon. And also running 2 of the new Link Streamer. Good normal summon option when a Cyberse monster is normal or special summoned to your field. While this monster is on the field, except during the damage step, you can special summon 1 data token, and you can only use the effect of Link Streamer once per turn. So that data token does come in handy quite a lot, and the stats on the Link Streamer are pretty good as well, meaning you can basically just sit on this card for good attack, or, like I said, with that special summon, especially with Backup Secretary, you'll gain that extra token and be able to go for a Link 3 summon pretty easily. And I also run 2 Boot Staggered, easy special summon once again when a Cyberse monster is normal summon to your field. Special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Boot Staggered once per turn. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon a Stag token to the field. I only run 2 of this card because of the fact that the special summon is only once per turn. Otherwise, definitely would run more. But if you open up too many of these, they can be dead draws since you have level 5 monster, and it has to be special summon basically to get out to the field fast enough. And I also run 2 Link Infra Flyers. Easy, another monster to special summon. All you have to do is special summon this card from your hand to a zone a Link monster points to. You can only special summon Infra Flyer once per turn this way. But the more and more we get Link monsters, the more and more people use them, which also means it's easier to get this guy out by basically just special summoning to those zones to make use of. And for the one-ofs, I run 1 Ram Clouder. With this, you can tribute 1 monster, then target 1 Cyberse monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use this effect of Ram Clouder once per turn. Just the one-of. He's very, very good, but only when your graveyard's really set up for him. And you can search him out and, use him when you want to. So that's why I only run the 1 of him. Same with Stack Reviver and Dotscaper, which each only have, the once per duel effects, which is why I only run 1 of them. They're searchable as well with other cards in the deck. So with Stack Reviver allowing you to special summon from the graveyard when he's used for a Link summon really helps so you don't minus yourself out too much in your big plays. And Dotscaper, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card. If this card is banished, you can special summon this card. You can only use 1 Dotscaper effect per turn, and only once that turn. You can only use each effect once per duel. Works very well with Bit Trooper for sure for the special summon, because then you can just special summon this back. And also good with some of your other cards, which we'll get to in a bit, that banish the cards for effects. And I also run 1 Backup Operator. Testing this card out, not too bad so far. I might go back and forth with another card. I'll explain in a bit. You can target 1 face-up monster that Link monster you control points to. Special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, return that monster to the hand. If special summon this way, banish this card when it leaves the field. You can only use the effect of Backup Operator once per turn. So it's kind of like an easy special summon. Works pretty well because you can basically return that monster, and if it's something that can be easily special summon it back to the field if you didn't already this turn. It's just a one-of, though. It is kind of situational, and also since it's a once per turn, it's not as consistent as Backup Secretary, since you do kind of need to have something else on the field, and bouncing something that won't be able to go back to the field will kind of mess you up. And lastly, 1 Degrade Buster. This is kind of like a BLS for the deck. Cannot be normal summon or set. Must first be special summon from your hand by banishing 2 Cyberse monsters from your graveyard. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls with higher attack than this card. Quick effect, banish it until the end phase. You can only use this effect once per turn. The banish effect helps with so many monsters. It's crazy, but like I said, I'm testing it out. I might drop Backup Operator to none and try 2 Degrade Buster. It does help with a bunch of your different banish effects, including Balancer Lord and Dotscaper, making use of their banishes. And like I said, you don't really use the cards in the graveyard for any other plays besides special summoning them back when you can, but special summoning Degrade Buster off that banish definitely does help. And that's it for the monsters. A big monster lineup, but that's what the main focus of the deck is. 2 Link summons, so you need a heavy monster count. For the spells, I run 3 Signet Backdoor. Love this card since the structure deck came out. You target 1 Cyberse monster you control, banish it, and if you do, add 1 Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand whose attack is lower than the monster's original attack. During your next standby phase, return that monster banished by this effect to the field, and it can attack directly this turn. You can only activate 1 Signet Backdoor per turn. So it's a quick play, so you can set it, and if your opponent goes after one of your monsters, just activate this in response. It has the options to search, plus your monster is going to return to the field as well, so you don't really have to miss out about losing your monster, and the fact that it can attack directly can mean, or break or win some of your games when you want to go big with some of your big Link monsters. And I also run 1 Link Bound. I'm testing this new card out. You target 1 Link monster you control or in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck. And if you do, draw cards equal to its Link rating, then place cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck in any order equal to the number of cards you drew. You can only activate 1 Link Bound per turn. So this is kind of like a small Yugioh for the deck, just because you can go through cards in your deck and grab what you need, and what you don't put back. Put back normal monsters that you'd rather get out another method. And just like I said, go for those cards you want to with this card. Definitely does come in handy. And also one-time passcode, just for that easy token normal summon, special summon out to the field when you need that additional monster token and you just don't have a summon left for monsters. 1 security block, just for that protection. You only really need the 1. I've been dropping this card ever since it originally came out, but I feel like just 1 is enough. Otherwise, it just kind of messes up with your plays. And also 1 Soul Charge to finish off the spells. Can never go wrong with Soul Charge in the deck. It just helps with so many of your special summons. And for traps, I run 1 Cyberse Beacon, good for search, just like a small little trap tech to be able to search out cards. 1 Recoded Alive. You target 1 Link 3 Cyberse Link monster you control or in your graveyard, banish it, and if you do, special summon 1 Code Talker monster from your extra deck. If you control no monsters in the extra monster zone, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 of your banished Code Talkers, special summon it. Really, really good just for getting big monsters out, especially since a lot of these Cyberse cards have banish effects in the graveyard. So it's kind of like you're playing with 2 cards at once, which I really like that they're doing for the deck. It definitely helps to power it up. And lastly, 1 limit code. If you have any Cyberse Link monsters in your graveyard, place 1 counter on this card for each of those monsters. And if you do, special summon 1 Code Talker monster from your extra deck and equip it with this card. When this card leaves the field, destroy the equipped monster. And once per turn during your end phase, remove 1 counter from this card. If you cannot, destroy it. And you can only activate 1 limit code once per duel. Now, the more Code Talker monsters we get later down the road, the much, much better this card and Recoded Alive will become. But until then, we still have the 3 to work with in the deck, so still good to go for, especially since this is easy with all the link summoning you can do in the deck. You'll definitely make this card work to get out something powerful. And that's it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra. I run 2 Decode Talkers, very easy link monster to summon out with this deck, and a very powerful one at that. Also, it's Yusaku's main link monster, so you definitely got to run this card at front and center. Also, 1 Encode Talker, good for the boost power-ups. Other than that, can't wait till we can get more Code Talkers. They're definitely going to help out a lot with the deck. Same with Xcode Talker, just situational for both of these Code Talkers. When you need them, they're there. And also, since they can be easily special summoned off of some of the other cards, especially the traps in the deck. For the big link monsters, 1 Firewall Dragon, great with its co-link effect. 1 Topologic, the blow-up effects rarely really do help. Borreload, it's probably one of the best link 4s we have right now in the game, so you can't go wrong with this guy. For the other link 3s, 1 Trigate Wizard and 1 Vector Square Archfiend. And for the link 2s, 1 Binary Sorceress, 1 Proxy Dragon, and 1 Space Insulator. Testing this out, you can't really use it for a link summon, but still like to have it in the deck. Also 1 Underclock Taker to finish off the link 2s. And for the link 1s, 2 Link Spider. If you have Link Karibo and you want to run that instead, definitely give it a try. You won't go wrong with that in the deck. Just running 1 and 1s for sure. It'll definitely help, since most of the time for the Link Spiders I use Protron anyway to make it, so you can make Link Karibo just as easily with that in this deck. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Once again, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, Kira Twig out.